our guest speaker. I don't know why, I don't know. We'll get to you, we'll get to you. First, we need to start off.
Go ahead and sign in, that's all.
We can skip.
Yeah.
Hurry up before he sees you.
You finally got a run in.
I got my run.
I give him out.
Go talk to
in
you
our
about
bags.
this. We're gonna talk about Thursday. All right, what are you guys doing? This is not the sign in. Go away, go away, go away.
See, it's good.
All right, on time drawing.
I was on time.
All right, you will be number 21.
She was on time.
Oh, he didn't pay 3.
All right, where's my,
He's not pulling it.
what are we giving away this morning?
I was on time too.
Boulders. Black one, white one. Ooh. And a rock time.
Yeah.
And One Lux magazine, mouse pad, shirt, brand new, still in the plastic wrap, and other stuff. What did I say, number 21? You're number 21? All right.
Wow.
Just need to know what numbers to put in. All right, what number should?
3.
20.
7.
20. 20. 20. 20. 20.
All right. Oh wait, missed one.
Oh, yeah. There's more.
All right.
Okay, I can leave now.
No, after I get done speaking. All right, we're gonna watch a short little video. I get asked the question all the time. What makes someone successful? And she verbalizes it in like 3 or 4 minutes better than I've ever seen before. So let's listen to what she has to say. Hold on a second. That's not loud enough, is it?
It's on the TV. I had to turn it down for the music earlier, sir. Not that one. Use the mouse.
Where? Here?
No.
Down
You
the
gotta
bottom
exit
right
out.
mark. You gotta lower the mouse button to the bottom.
Yeah, you need to exit out.
Press the window button on the keyboard. There you go.
Down here. Where this little arrow was.
Look at your all high tech over there.
So Mark, you're not the example, right? Success, right?
I am the example. All right, let's try this again.
There.
What if doing well in school and in life depends on much more than your ability to learn quickly and easily? I started studying kids and adults in all kinds of super challenging settings. And in every study, my question was, who is successful here and why? My research team and I went to West Point Military Academy. We tried to predict which cadets would stay in military training and which would drop out. We went to the National Spelling Bee and tried to predict which children would advance farthest in competition. We partnered with private companies asking which of these salespeople is going to keep their jobs and who's going to earn the most money. In all those very different contexts, one characteristic emerged as a significant predictor of success. And it wasn't social intelligence, it wasn't good looks, physical health, and it wasn't IQ. It was grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future, day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality. A few years ago, I started studying grit in the Chicago public schools. I asked thousands of high school juniors to take grit questionnaires, and then waited around more than a year to see who would graduate. Turns out that grittier kids were significantly more likely to graduate, even when I matched them on every characteristic I could measure. Things like family income, standardized achievement test scores, even how safe kids felt when they were at school. So it's not just at West Point or the National Spelling Bee that grit matters, it's also in school, especially for kids at risk for dropping out. Every day, parents and teachers ask me, how do I build grit in kids? So far, the best idea I've heard about building grit in kids is something called growth mindset. This is an idea developed at Stanford University by Carol Dweck, and it is the belief that the ability to learn is not fixed, that it can change with your effort. Dr. Dweck has shown that when kids read and learn about the brain and how it changes and grows in response to challenge, they're much more likely to persevere when they fail, because they don't believe that failure is a permanent condition. So growth mindset is a great idea for building grit, but we need more. We need to take our best ideas, our strongest intuitions, and we need to test them. We need to measure whether we've been successful, and we have to be willing to fail, to be wrong, to start over again with lessons learned.
Grit. And over the years, literally, I've interviewed hundreds and hundreds of agents. And there's agents I'm like, there's just no way this person is going to make it, but I hire them. And they do amazing. It's because they have the grit, they have the drive, they just don't give up. They're like a pit bull, you know, they grab a hold and just don't let go. There's been other agents that I've interviewed like, oh my God, this person is great. I mean, they can talk the talk and walk the talk, but they didn't have the grit and they didn't have the drive, and they ended up failing. So, and grit is something that we just don't inherently have in us, a lot of us. It's something that we can actually work on. So success has a lot to do with grit. So thank you. Reminder that to take pictures throughout of your speakers, and then at the end, check in on Facebook and check in on the Realty One Group Southwest office. Our breakfast sponsor this morning with the croissants and fruit is Stacia. So Stacia, come on up.
Good morning. You know, budgets are getting smaller. I have to get more creative. How is everybody doing this morning? Enjoying a little bit of that outcastness or the overcastness? The humidity's good for your skin, but it's not always very fun to deal with.
I mean, it's not a dry heat.
Let me tell you, so I'm from the Midwest, and my mom called me yesterday, and it was 100 degrees there yesterday, and then with the heat index, because of the humidity, which was about 65%, felt like 110. And my younger sister just moved away last month from here back to Wisconsin, and she said, it's just horrible. So when people say it's a dry heat, you know, I know people laugh, but there is a difference.
It really does make a difference.
It really does. I mean, and I think your sweat kind of evaporates off of you a little bit out here, where there you're just perpetually not ever really dry. So I hope everybody's doing well, and I just want to thank you for having me here today. You know, one of the things that I think I agree with when you're saying grit is a lot of times just, you know, your perseverance and being hungry is something that is important in order to grow your business. You have to want it. And we all have ups and downs and good days and bad days, and so you're not always gritty every day and you're not always hungry every day. But if you're always looking for the food, you know, at some point you're going to have that payoff. And so I just hope that I can always be here for you, for a resource to set the right expectations. I had somebody text me the other day, and this happened, you know, and say they have a pool that isn't working, and we're going to send out a second opinion because not everybody is right, not everybody's accurate. Sometimes had somebody say, what's the point of a home warranty if you don't cover anything? And I think that my importance here is that I can set that right expectation. We don't cover everything. No insurance covers everything, and I think I've discussed that before. Like last Monday I had my teeth cleaned with dental insurance because my health insurance doesn't cover my teeth. And I still paid $368 for like a deep clean and fluoride, and my insurance doesn't cover the fluoride. And so, but it's part of maintaining the health of me. And so I just always want to, call and ask me. I'll always be honest, and like I think I've said before, I'm not always going to tell you everything you want to hear, but I'll always tell you the truth. And if there's something that we can work through, I'm always happy to help with that. But connect me with your clients before they ever have a problem, and let me tell them the stories about how our biggest claim call is garbage disposals, and people have fish tanks and clean their fish tank and put rocks down their garbage disposal, and we deny, the most denials we have is garbage disposals. They're not the largest repair or replacement that we have, but it's the one that we deny the most because 9 times out of 10 people are using it for actual garbage. And that's not, maybe we need to rename them, but unfortunately, that's probably our highest percentage of denials is garbage disposals because people are putting things down there that don't belong there. That's a simple one compared to one of my coworkers in Southern Arizona. She had somebody that had an AC replaced, and we of course comply with all EPA standards. So that's a 15 SEER, it's 410A refrigerant. It's not compatible with the heater. So the policyholder had to replace their heater at their own cost because it didn't fail. But in order for it to work when things turn cold, it needs to be replaced to be compatible with the new AC that we install. Those real life stories are just things that if you can tell people ahead of time, it gets their mind in the right place. It gets them questioning things to know that when your neighbor, and I know I've told this story, when your neighbor kicks the heck out of your AC unit because they're mad at you for something, we're not covering that, that's not normal repair. And I don't like to focus on the negative, but I just like to focus on the reality of things, setting the right expectations so that when that client, if they call you already know that I've spoken to them, they know that standard, you remind them they have a home warranty, and you're the hero because you've saved them money. And sometimes it's saving thousands of dollars, sometimes it's saving a couple hundreds of dollars, sometimes they have to come out of their pocket for some financial, contribution, but it can save them so much money. And if you let me help set that expectation before there's ever a problem, then you'll always be a hero because you saved them money. So if you aren't working with someone that you trust, or have confidence in, or if you have questions, or you have, whether they're special clients or not, please reach out to me. I'd love the opportunity to earn your business, or at least provide you some information. So,
Awesome. And thank you again for the breakfast.
of course.
All right, let's talk about some rev-ups coming up. These are our trainings. Tomorrow is the 25th. It's Module 8, Finding Motivated Sellers and Preparing to Win the Listing. Jeff is the instructor on that, I believe. He's getting surgery on his arm, so maybe not. Then next Wednesday is Winning the Listing and Negotiating the Sale. Dennis will be the instructor on that one. And then a week from tomorrow, Friday, is the Residential Listing Agreement. And that is not correct. It's not the Residential Listing Agreement, it's something else.
Do you want me to pull it up for you, sir?
No, it's fine. It's I don't know. It's the last one. It's modules.
I think it's open house.
Anyway, no, it's not open house.
No.
All right, so Food Taste Thursday, Food Truck Thursdays. There's a food truck out there, and it is Love Me Foods. Love the name. And they have all that stuff. I almost said shit. Saturday is Super Summer Theater. So who's signed up? Who's going? Nobody. They are back there. Well, I'm going, and we're going to have fun. So if you want to go, tough. They're sold out. But we're going to have fun. And then September 7th, but that's coming up, isn't it? That's like a week or two away. We're going to be doing our football kickoff, pregame, tailgate, and pizza party. And we'll be making, I don't know, how many pizzas we're gonna do, 15, you think?
Are you
Like
making it?
15.
I'm making the pizzas. Again, you had it last time.
I sure enough. It's awesome.
Did it make it sick? She's like, what you?
Lieutenant Toro.
Yeah. Some of you have had my pizzas. You've had my pizzas, right?
They're great.
Yes.
Did you get much indigestion out of it? Anyways, I'll be bringing my pizza oven in and we'll be doing pizza party.
Is that one here?
That one is here.
And then that's school pickup, so can I bring a little friend?
Bring a little friend.
Are no friends allowed?
You can bring a little friend.
Okay, I'll bring him.
Then Friday, September 29th is our end of summer picnic. So make sure that you put that on your calendar. It's 3 p.m. It's at Cougar Creek Park, which is not far from here. It's off of like Wigwam and Rainbow area. So not far. It's a really nice park. 3 p.m. We're gonna have a good time. It is a potluck. There is a sign-in sheet, so we'll put that sign-in sheet back up front. So make sure that you sign in. We'll be providing hamburgers, hot dogs.
Rock
but
Title, courtesy of Rock Title.
courtesy of Rock Title. Thank you, Stephanie. You always got my back, don't you?
Are we allowed alcohol?
I'm gonna get the good stuff.
Alcohol?
What's that?
You don't drink alcohol around here. Why are you all laughing there? Much? Yes, yeah.
Mark, what time? 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock, yep. All right, and of course, little ones are invited to this one as well. Hey, Max. How you doing?
Oh.
And significant others, yeah. But are we doing RSVP on that, Steph?
It's just agents. What?
Are we doing RSVP on that?
The picnic?
Yeah.
I did not have an RSVP sheet, I just had the sheet signed up for
Maybe we should.
sides.
Yeah.
Yes, we can,
Just so we know how many hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff.
yeah,
All
I
right.
can put that.
So there will be an RSVP for the picnic. All right, coming up, 8/28, just a few days, Best of Las Vegas. So that we are entered. I don't think we've been entered as a company. So we've entered it this time, so vote. Kind of like Chicago, vote often. But it's legal here, is you can vote for every single device you have once per day. So I have 2 cell phones, I have 3 laptops, I have my desktop, and so I'll be voting a lot. It's not cheating if it's legal, come on. So we'll be doing that. And that is for the whole company. Where's Dennis? So let's get behind it.
on there too.
All right. And then Summit's coming up. I know it's a ways away. It's February 4th to 6th. And so you've been with the company a long time, Paul, right? And last year this year was your first summit, right?
Correct.
Same here.
Your first summit as well. And you've been with the company a long time. Thoughts?
It was fabulous. Best time, informative, just everything was well organized, meeting all these other agents, and just, I never knew, the value it was until I went. And of course, you guys been doing this for years, and last year was the first, or this year was the first time I went.
What about you, Paul?
Yeah,
Did you get some stuff out of it?
I really did. I was introduced to a lot of the technology that the corporate offers us that I'm not taking advantage of.
Mhm.
That I actually didn't know was there.
Mhm.
So it's a great way for Realty One to say, hey, this is what we got. They give you a taste.
So the problem is, it's not cheap. It's like 1100, I think it's 1111, so it's not cheap.
Yeah, it's a lot.
However, what we're doing,
Early bird is $9.99.
so early bird, if you sign up now, is $999. But what we're doing is they're doing group pricing. And the group pricing is, we gotta get 50 agents together. And it's 50 agents out of all 4 offices. There's emails going out, it's on social media, or will be. Sign up for it if you're interested, and the group pricing is $555. So it's quite a discount. It's still an investment, but I think it's worth the investment.
Just even the social functions themselves, yeah, I mean.
Is
it's
there
just-
alcohol at these?
The last one, okay, here I am, I was 61, I got to dance on the top of the floor of Dre's night. How phenomenal is that?
Great.
And
That
Shaq-
party was awesome.
And Shaq was the DJ.
Shaq was the DJ.
So
It was-
just
it
even
was
the
awesome.
social functions themselves are worth it.
Yeah, yep, cool. All right, so put that in your calendar, sign up for the,
And just so everybody knows, there is an email going out with the link to the sign-up sheet that's gonna come from Mark. If you're in our office, I know that I gave all the information to the other OAs as well.
awesome.
Okay, one more question on it. Are there gonna be opportunities to win a ticket to get in like we did last year, or?
They said no.
No? Okay.
Yeah, so last year we were given like 11 tickets, I was given 11
Right.
tickets to be able to give away. But they said not this year,
Okay.
so.
Well, then we'll just have to get 50 people.
But you never know, sometimes Cuba's like, let's do this, you know, so I'm not saying no, but I
Right
wouldn't,
now
I
it's-
wouldn't count on it, yeah.
Okay.
So how do you sign up for a group?
Watch for your emails. Every week the email comes out. Yep.
What's the date that we have to have that out there about, once we sign up for it with the group?
Yeah.
It will give you information, so from the link that's in the email, it'll take you to the website that Realty One has created for sign up, because we have to have a minimum of 50 agents to do the group pricing. Once that's done, once we meet the 50, you'll get an email verifying your registration, and it will give you all the information to follow.
So if we don't make the 50, are we committed to
We're gonna make the
that?
50.
No.
We'll make
No,
it.
if
We're gonna
we
make the
don't make
50.
the 50, you're not committed to that. This is just for us to
Yeah.
get the 50 in a group.
Okay.
Yes. So,
It's basically an interest list.
yes.
And we'll get it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. It
All
was
right.
fun. I'd be it.
We have no meeting next week, so doesn't mean you can't come in and say hi, but we won't have it. And if you have any new listings or open houses that you want to promote, get the information to Stephanie. It needs to be to her by Thursdays at noon. And then the email with those new listings and open houses will go out on Fridays. Pet of the week. Where'd she go? I saw her earlier.
I haven't seen her.
All right. So, if you want your pet to be considered as pet of the week, please let us know quick, because I think this is kind of run its course. So, but we have another dog. There she is right there. Oh, that's not a dog, is it?
I thought I missed it last week.
Yeah, well,
Maybe do it again?
you just made it. So,
Sorry, I was hoping my.
that's Charlotte's dog.
My very large dog.
Jedi? Yeah, okay.
23-year-old.
Oh,
Super
wow.
old man, he's the oldest man
That
in the
is
world.
old.
He's awesome, he's a champion barrel racer.
Ah,
He already showed his.
sure.
Yeah, we showed that one.
That was a couple weeks ago.
got it.
All right,
Or not.
rock title.
Good morning, you guys.
Morning.
Oh gosh, let's see. Okay, so we're gonna be tackling the CRM today. So I just wanted to say really quick, because we don't have a lot of time, we want to give all of it over to Dennis. Who in this room doesn't have a CRM, and don't be shy?
I know.
You're not the only one. Okay, so.
You all have CRMs, you might not be using it.
It's okay, it's never too late to create your CRM. You're gonna learn an amazing things from him today. To Paul's point, all of those back-end items in your One Zone, I know how to utilize those and I know how to train on those. So please feel free to reach out if you guys wanna set up your CRM through Sync, if that's what you decide to do today, or if you're using a different CRM. This can even be your CRM, but we wanna export it out of here and get it into a CRM. And then everything will take from there after you learn the fabulous things from Dennis.
So that's gonna be here, 1 o'clock this afternoon. We'll play it on Zoom.
Yep, and then 1 o'clock today is, help me with that? Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So it's HVAC facts every realtor should know.
Yep.
On the Rock U Zoom at 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, all right,
And I don't
guys,
have to
thanks.
for that. All right.
Definitely go to that. He was an account executive with ORHP for 8 years.
What's that?
Troy, the guy that's
Oh.
conducting the
Oh, cool.
class, he was an AE with ORHP for 8 years.
Cool. All right, let's go over some stats real quick by Emily. Really hasn't changed a whole lot from last week, so we'll compare to last week. So our active listings are 4,729. Of those, 3,648 of them are single family. Last 30 days, 2,361 have sold, and we have 2 months worth of inventory on the market. We'll compare it to last week. So last week we were 4783. So you see it hasn't changed much. The solds have gone down a little. 2361, 2419 last week. So you know it's stabilized. And we'll see what happens over the next couple months. But it's a you know what? There's a lot of agents that are bitching and complaining because it's so slow and I can't make any money and blah 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 blah. Jake was just in here right before the meeting. I'm like, Jake, you're gonna come to the meeting? We need you. We want you. And he goes, no, I'm just way too busy. I have 400 cars. I got to do a walkthrough right now. You know what? There's business to be had out there. So you just need to work your database, which is why we brought Dennis in to talk about database marketing. So again, my job here is to educate you so that you can go out and educate your buyers and sellers.
Do we know what interest rates are right now?
Do we know what interest rate? I don't know.
They're normal.
I don't,
These are normal.
so, that's a lender question, and I don't know. You know?
Less than renting. The billboard, it's updated 7.39.
7.39. But you know what, it depends on FICO scores and a lot of stuff. All right, so Dennis Hecker. So Dennis Hecker I've known for a lot of years. And we spend a lot of time together. We run together. We golf together. Finally, I thought, Dennis, you'd be a great manager for Realty One. Finally, he's now with Realty One. He's the branch manager of our Green Valley office and has a wealth of knowledge. He has over 30 years in the business. He has managed and coached. He's a coach for Tom Berry. And just incredibly knowledgeable. So let's welcome Dennis up.
Well, thank you for the warm-up for the main event. Yes, I've known Mark since 2001, I believe. So it's been a long, long time, and I know a lot about, if you want to know anything secretive about Mark.
There is no secrets. I'm in the book.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll do that. All right, I got an exercise for all of you. Okay? No, I'm not making you run around the office, but I have an exercise for all of you. Those of you that have been in the business 5 years or longer, please stand up. Come on. Stand up. Okay. Now stay standing. Standed. Stood. Stay standing. There we go. All right. Very
He's
good.
just learning English.
I am. Okay. So those you've been in the business 5 years or longer. Now, those of you who are doing, on average, 20 to 25 or more transactions, stay standing.
This year?
No, on average over the course of your career.
Per year.
Okay.
Right? Per year?
Yeah, per year. Okay, so we've narrowed it down to a few, right? Now I'm gonna come over here, but you guys watch. I'm gonna come over here, but you guys watch. Stand up if you're doing the business.
I thought you, I'm confused. You were then 5 years, but she didn't.
No, 5 years or more.
5 years or more.
Oh, 5 years or more.
Yeah. Oh, well, look at
You
this.
stand up, you sit down.
All right, well, either way, but watch this. What is your number one source of business? Is your past clients, people you know?
It's gonna be past clients and referrals.
Right, referrals from people that you know.
Correct.
Perfect, okay? Now, look at this gentleman here. This is how business is for most people that are typically successful, okay? For those of you that are sitting down, I'm not saying you're not successful, not at all. What I am saying is you have an opportunity to learn something today that will propel your business in the right direction. Okay. So we're gonna talk about databases. So I'm assuming, Stephanie, this is all set up, my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Oh, it is, fantastic. All right, good.
We're not Green Valley.
I'm not gonna say a thing because I actually like that little dude. All right. So, databases. If it's not, it will become your number one source of business. Some of you maybe pay for your leads through Zillow, or Realtor.com, or Ylopo, or Boomtown, or Prime Seller Leads, and there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. Some of you are massive open house people, and that's wonderful. Some of you like the door knocker, call expireds, or for sale by owners. All of these are very traditional ways of making money in business, okay? But the number one thing that you should be concerned with is paying attention to the people that already know you, right? They already know you, they trust you. Now, quick story. When I was growing up in the business, I could never access my family. Max knows this. Max is my little brother over there. He works for another company. And I brought him here because at some point he's going to officially take over from the business that my father and I started in 1995. It's still around, but I wanted him to come and see what a real estate office really looked like. Okay, I didn't mean to embarrass you. All right. At any rate, yeah. So the database, people that you know. So I couldn't access people that I knew in terms of my family because our father has been in business since 1977, and I don't care how long I've sold real estate, no one's coming to me. Probably not to Max, or my other brother, or my sister, or anybody else in our family who's currently licensed. They're gonna go to my father. He's 88 years old, he's super healthy, but he's 88 years old, and he still gets all the business from the family. Irrespective of that, that may not be your case, right? You guys have family in the business?
I do. It's my case.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so someone's getting the business and the other person may not.
Oh my goodness.
Well, strategic rat poisoning. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, so who are the people in your database? Everybody are the people in your database. Everybody. Obviously, your past and current clients, family and friends and acquaintances, everybody that you know. Former work associates. Here's what I know about real estate agents. In most cases, it's not your first job. It may not even be your second or your third job. It's certainly down the line. In other words, like you as an example, did you grow up and out of the womb became a real estate agent, that was the end of it? Of course not, right? None of us. I was a metrologist, I was a track and cross-country coach, I hung wallpaper, I did all kinds of things before real estate 32 years ago. So, former work associates, acquaintances, your doctor, your dentist, your lawyer, your mechanic, the waitress you know at the restaurant you frequent, or for some of you, maybe it's the bar you hang out at. I heard about the alcohol thing here somewhere. But everybody you know, right? Now, also, all the leads you accumulate. Now, does anybody here have like Boomtown by chance? No? You do? Boomtown has an attached CRM and all the leads from Boomtown go into Boomtown. I get all that. Or Ylopo, or any other lead source. Some of them transport into that CRM, but irrespective of all that, every lead that you accumulate should go into your database. So everyone. I could have gotten rid of all this and just said everyone. Make it a little bit easier. But that's the case here. Got to pay attention to that. Okay? Now we talked just briefly about CRMs. Contact Relationship Manager. Okay? Show of hands. I know that everybody here has one, as Mark mentioned. How many people are actively using it? Raise your hand. Wow. Wow. Now, I'm a company guy. I believe Realty One, I really truly do. It's the company I work for, I'm loyal and all that good stuff. And you guys all have a CRM available to you, and if you don't know how to use it, you want to use it, you're paying for it anyway, go talk to Felicia and she'll help you get it set up. But I'm gonna make mention of this. I'm digging around through this thing, and I'm relatively new in the company. It's a little clunky, I'm gonna be honest. It's a little clunky. It's okay. I don't care what CRM you use, whether it's the one that's provided for being here, or you go out and you buy another one. Use a CRM today. Today, start using the one you've already been given, or buy another one, but use a CRM. And I'll explain all the reasons why in a moment. But this is really important. Let me give you some other CRM advice on companies you can go out and search for. Realty Juggler. If you don't like the one we have here, use something. Realty Juggler, probably the least expensive, $179 a year. No, I don't get any kickback from it. And so it's very inexpensive, and it's 90-day free trial, so you can try it out. Lion Desk, Wise Agent, Follow Up Boss, Sierra Interactive, the list can go on. So which one do you think is the very, very best CRM you could use? The one you use. I've heard this before, I love it. The one you use. And why would we say that? Because you need to use it. You need to use your CRM, okay? Help with organization and ease of access to all your contacts. Most good CRMs nowadays will allow mobile access. So on the go, you can have access to all your clients, and you can do certain things within your CRM mobily, if you're not in the office, that make your life a little bit better and more productive, okay? Store all your notes. Would it be helpful when you talk to a past client or somebody in your sphere of influence, and you had a conversation, that you memorialize that conversation in your CRM? Of course it would. You talk to somebody, oh, I'm going on this great safari in Africa, we're gonna see lions and tigers and bears, oh my, right. And then 3 months later, you call them back again, and you don't reference that amazing trip, because you've forgotten, because you didn't write it down. Would that be kind of weird? Sure it would be. Remember what CRM stands for. Relationship, contact, relationship. Relationship, that's what it's all about, okay? Remind you when and how to correspond with people. Almost every CRM I've ever come in contact with will allow you to schedule the number of calls you're supposed to make, the number of video texts you're supposed to do, yes, I said video, etc. Their birthdays, we'll get into that, okay? Remind you of important dates, like I mentioned, birthdays, home anniversaries, holiday events, okay? Sets up automatic email drip campaigns. Every CRM does that. The one you have included as well, which is important. And ease of mass emails and sometimes mass texting as well. So a good CRM does a lot of stuff for you to keep you in contact with the people that you know. Your past clients, your family, your friends, your acquaintances, all the open house leads you accumulated, or the door knocking leads you accumulated, or any number of other things. CRM's phenomenal, okay? Here's the most important part. It creates a sellable entity. Did you know that your database, if kept up properly, when you decide to exit the business, and we all will at some point, can be a sellable entity for another agent getting into the business or firmly entrenched in the business? Did you guys know that? Yeah. Highly recommend that you read the book, The Golden Handoff. The Golden Handoff. It's all about selling your database, selling your business. Okay, and it's a really good book, and it talks a lot about how do you hand that business off to the next agent when you decide to exit, okay? All right, so now we're gonna talk about, oh, by the way, let me say this. It's important to note that part of what I'm gonna be talking about here is very, very basic 101 stuff. Every agent in America should be doing a lot of the things we're gonna talk about here. This is nothing unusual, nothing rocket science. I'll get to the rocket science a little bit later on, these very, very high level things that you can be doing that will really, really dig into your database. Okay, things you may not have heard before, but we'll get to that, okay? So ideally, 35 to 40 touches, I didn't say calls, touches per year, or more. I put more in big bold letters because more is great. And we'll explain all that. So what does that include? Minimum, these are minimum standards, guys. 4 phone calls per year and 4 video texts per year, so once a quarter for each. Video text. Video text. Do not send a normal text to these people. Don't do it. Send a video text. Everybody can do that for free. It doesn't cost anything. On your iPhone, on your Android, doesn't make a difference. Hold the phone out. Just keeping in touch. How's it going? Want to make sure you didn't forget about me, or anything else you want to say. And send. Simple, simple, simple. Okay? 2 automated emails in your drip campaign. Simple enough. Simple 101 stuff. Birthday cards. These are touches. Birthday cards, anniversary cards, holiday cards. All of that. Super important. They need to know that you care. That's what all this is about. Okay? Now, a little bit different. 1 CMA per year and a follow-up phone call. So, am I talking about emailing them a CMA or mailing them a CMA? What am I asking? Or what am I talking about here? Well, who says email? Who says mail? Who didn't give a shit? Okay, you should. I said the word shit twice. I said it again.
But you should meet with them, and you should have coffee at lunch to explain to CMA, because they're gonna tell you that you're wrong. They're
Well-
gonna say, my house is worth $200,000 more, or this, that, and the other. So if you don't talk to them.
Well, I'm getting to
explain
that.
it.
That's absolutely
It's
correct.
actually hurtful.
What's your name?
Charlotte.
Charlotte is 100% correct. We gotta talk. That's what it says here. You may not be able to see it, but it says CMA per year plus a follow-up phone call. Could you meet them in person? Of course you could. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay? But here's a CMA. Print it out through Matrix. Print it out through Matrix. The 10, 11, 12 pages, whatever you decide you want to create. Full color. Put it in a manila envelope. But before you do that, put a little note on it. Write this down. Write this down. Just thought you might like to see what your home might possibly sell for. Might possibly. I'm not an appraiser, I don't know. Right? Might possibly sell for in today's market. I will call you back to answer questions. Not if you have questions. I will call you back to answer your questions. I'm going to assume they're going to have questions. Okay? So I'm going to call them back and have a conversation. That's another touch. That's 2 touches. The package, and I say that purposely, it's not a CMA to them. To them, it's a package. CMA is an industry term. They're not in the industry. Okay, so say package. So the call, when you mail that off, and you call back a few days after you think that they may have received it, a few days later, just to make sure. Hey, this is Dennis, how's it going? Did you get the package I sent you? Yes, I did. Wonderful. Tell me all the questions you have. I'd love to be able to answer them for you. You go through that process. Great. Are you thinking about selling and taking advantage of all the equity you might have? Nope. Great. Love it. What's another reason to call? It's important for them also. This is stuff you may not have thought of. Maybe you have. I don't know. Another reason for them to know the quote-unquote value of their home could be because maybe they bought it 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago. Is the value different when they bought it compared to now? Of course it is. Maybe they're underinsured. Maybe they're underinsured. They gotta go talk to their insurance person and say, hey, I need to readjust the policy because maybe I don't have enough insurance to cover in case something drastic happens. And 99,000 out of 100,000, it's not gonna happen, but what if it burns down? What if there's some, catastrophe, the tree falls down, lightning strike, I don't know. But it's just another way to talk to people. It's another touch point. That's all we're talking about, okay? Now, when I gave this presentation 5 years ago-ish with interest rate, or even less than that really, interest rates were in the 3s and upper 2s, remember that? Okay? The conversation was, hey, might be a great time to refinance. I can't really say that now. But 10 years from now, maybe I can, okay. Or 5 years, or whatever. But anyway, another touch point. 1 to 2 coffee meetings per year per person. Meet with these people. Enjoy a cup of coffee. You don't like coffee, there's tea. You don't like tea, there's cocktails after work. Coffee meeting is
We're all about cocktails around here.
I'm telling you, we're a bunch of drunken fools. No. But you want to meet with them. That's the idea. Coffee meeting is a catch-all phrase for meet with somebody, have a meal, have a drink, have some coffee. I don't care. But meet with them in person, one-on-one. Okay? Client appreciation event. Client appreciation event. You should have a client appreciation event. Does that have to be extravagant? No. It can be relatively simple. You could rent or reserve the restaurant back end where they have banquets and things. You can be more extravagant than that. You can be less extravagant. You can go bowling. You guys go bowling from time to time, Mark tells me. It could be anything. As long as you're showing your appreciation with an event. With an event. Okay? Now, we're still talking about touch points, aren't we? Every time you take a listing, you better send out an email. Hey, this is Dennis. I just took a listing at 123 Banana Street, and I wanted you guys to be the first to know before it's the market, because I value our relationship. If anybody is thinking about buying in that area, or if you're thinking about buying or selling, boy, I'd love to talk to you. Send out the email. Everybody in your database. Okay? Every time you do an open house, same thing. Touch point, touch point, touch point, touch point. Get the idea? Okay? Contests and promotions. Let me talk about that for half a second. So, as Mark mentioned, I'm a Tom Ferry coach. Currently do that. I do that early in the morning, and then I race to Green Valley, and I do that throughout the day. And I was at their big event, which surprisingly is called Summit, right? Same thing as our big event here. And Tom Ferry was talking about this amazing promotion that he'd heard about, and he was giving it to everybody in the audience, about 5,000 or 6,000 people. And here's what it was. It was a trip to Cabo San Lucas. That was the giveaway. The promotion was, during this period of time, all the referrals that you guys give me will be dropped into a little jar here, figuratively speaking. You'll be entered into a drawing to win this all expense paid for Cabo San Lucas for 2. Kind of cool, right? So people started sending him referrals. Here's what the outcome of that was. It was 77 referrals he received, okay? At the conclusion, and I think it was like a 3-month time period. At the conclusion of this, he had sold 13 homes, and he made like $70,000 or $80,000 in commissions. How much was the Cabo trip? 3,000?
4,000.
Yeah. So tell you what, you give me $3,000 right now. Write a check right now, and in 6 months, I'll give you 70 or 80,000. Who wouldn't want to do that? Is that a good strategy? Yeah. Sure it is. Sure it is. Now, that's just one type of person. I had another client in Anaheim, California. What's in Anaheim?
Disneyland.
That's right, baby. That's right. I'm going this weekend. Disneyland, right? He lives in Anaheim. So what he did was he decided he was doing the exact same thing, and he promoted the heck out of it. So what I mean by promoting is every week he's doing a video and he's sending it out. He's on social media. He's everywhere doing this promotion. He's keeping up the momentum throughout this entire promotional period. If you don't do that, people lose interest. They forget. So every week he's boom, boom, boom. Hey, thanks so much. And he's sending out videos and doing different things. He gave away a trip for a family of 4 to Disneyland, and a voucher for foods and gifts and so forth. And I think it cost him about $2,000. And as a result, he sold 4 homes. God, it doesn't sound like a lot, does it? But I'm not sure if you know the prices in Southern California. It's not what it is here, I can tell you that. His average sales price, $1.2 million. Times 4, that's 4.8. Times 2% even. I can't do them at $80,000 or, no, it's a whole lot of money. Who's got a calculator? All right, so awesome thing to think about. Do you have to do any of this? No. You can go status quo and let things just kind of slide. Question?
How long was the promotional period?
3 months. Yeah, 3 months.
Or whatever you want to make it.
Exactly. It could be 2 months. I wouldn't go too short. You're not going to build enough momentum. But 2 months, 3 months, And again, it wouldn't go too terribly long either, because then it becomes drawn out. So you're gonna have to fine line it, yes.
Good question. Doing all of these items,
Mm-hmm.
when it's going to be enough time left during the day, working 8 hours to prospect?
Oh, great question. What's your name?
Adriana.
Adriana's smart. She had the magic word. We call it hours of power. Prospecting, hours of power. Love that. Yes, you gotta be a master of your schedule, don't you?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
but that one is time consuming.
Yes. Hire an assistant.
Let's say, for instance, you don't have enough business to hire part-time assistant. How you split yourself? How you split
Okay.
your time?
Most important part of your day is your prospecting, right?
Yes.
Most important, hour of power, most important part of your day. How many hours per day do you do?
4 hours.
4 hours, phenomenal, okay? If you're doing 4 hours of prospecting every day, then I would say within 3 to 6 months, either you have enough business for an assistant, or you need to talk to Mark about your scripts and dialogues, because you're not closing effectively. 4 hours of prospecting a day is wonderful, good for you, good for you. But to answer your question, for some people, this is very difficult to do, right? But you gotta be a master of your schedule. Listen, how many people here sleep 8 hours a day? Right, what is it, 6? There you go, thank you. Is it maybe 6?
Yes.
7? Okay, so if it's 7, that means that there's 17 more hours in the day, and you're only taking up 4. I'm just saying. Okay, so if you sleep 7 hours or 17 hours in the day, left over, you could have enough time. It's possible. It's possible. Forget about your family and friends if they don't.
Definitely, it's not going to be a balanced life.
Right, I understand that. So, can you do part of this? Can you do some of this? Can you work your way up to this? Of course is the answer. And if you're not, you're losing opportunity. So maybe you don't do 3 hours, or excuse me, 4 hours. You do 3 hours and take one of those hours and do some of this. Because that's still prospecting, isn't it, in a way?
Sort
It could be.
of, some sorts of prospecting, yes.
It's a form of
Take
prospecting.
time, but it's going to be good in some point after 90 days or so.
Well, let me say this. If you do everything you're supposed to do in some form or fashion, the result within 12 to 18 months will be about 10% capture on your CRM. So you have 100 people, you should get 10 transactions, 10, 12 transactions out of it. And that's what you should be expecting.
And the beauty of it is that the CRM does a lot of it automated for you.
That's part of the reason for the CRM, absolutely. It keeps you organized, as I
You gotta
mentioned. at the beginning.
automate as much of this as
Yeah.
possible. The emails that go out are automated. A lot of the snail mails that get sent out can be automated. You
Right.
automate as much as possible.
Of course, yes.
And it's just front loaded, right? The initial investment in time is
Yeah.
overwhelming.
Yes.
And I was a former corporate database marketing man. And to me, it's overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
The original piece, but, so you might have to spend 12 hours one day just trying to get your people in your CRM and just making sure you have their correct emails and phone
Correct.
numbers and addresses.
Correct.
So the beginning feels like it's Mount Everest.
But we're gonna talk about how to help with that, by the
Once
way, as
you-
well.
It might be, literally, it might be 12 hours, not for the boundary, you know, just focusing to get it done. It
Yeah.
might be really intimate. You do it the second time, the third time, and then one day, you literally, all you're doing is enter, and I'm not doing this well myself, so I'm not, yeah, I need to do this too, but at some point, it should be, hey, I just met a guy at Starbucks, I'm gonna put his name in here, cause he's already gonna be in the drip campaign that I clicked on. Oh, my family and friend, I just found out, I forgot their anniversary, I'm gonna enter that. Oh, the home anniversary, I'm gonna put that.
Yeah, there'll be
It's
parts
literally
throughout the
one
day.
little piece at a time, and it becomes 2 minutes. or 5
I'm doing an
minutes.
entire class on time management. I really am in my office. You're all welcome. But, yeah, the time management is critical. And you're right, some of this is front-loaded and you're working very hard in the very beginning. But once, as Mark mentioned, you automate as much as you're able to, this won't be as daunting as you think. It won't be, because it'll be a normal flow of your business.
When they're in there, right, you're only cost. eventually you're only clicking on, I'm gonna add them to that drip campaign, I'm gonna add them, so you're literally just adding them to campaigns that are already set up, so it could be 5 minutes of your day.
Absolutely, good, yeah. Yes.
When are you doing classes?
I don't know, you call me or call up the office and they'll tell you when my time management class is. That's okay.
Maybe we'll get you back in here to do time management.
We can do that too. We can do, I don't know if I have time for that. Okay, last but not least.
I'll talk to your OA.
Thank you very much.
Don't laugh at his jokes, he's not funny.
I think I am, at least looking. All right, invite all people to your social media channels. Use your social media. Use your social media. And I think it's highly important that if everybody that you know is not a part of your social media channels, like, follow, and so forth, you're missing out there as well. And we're gonna talk a little bit about that. I'm hoping that one of these amazing people can get me on Facebook, because I can't do it through here, and also get me on Google, so I can show them something at the end. All right, which is coming up. Now, high-level engagement. Here it is. This is not basic stuff. This is slightly higher knowledge or higher information stuff. It is super important. Keep this in mind. As I said several times, contact, relationship, okay? Let me ask you all a question. For those of you that have closed 1 or 2 or more transactions, do you guys give any kind of gifts for closing? Sure, of course you do. For those of you that receive referrals from your database, your past clients, your family, your friends, do you give a gift of some sort?
Yes.
Great. For those that said yes, what are you giving?
Usually gift card.
What kind of a gift card?
To their restaurant that they like, or something, you know, for them to try out new, or coffee shop, just depends on, you know.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
What else?
Amazon.
Amazon? You can get almost anything there, right? Right, great. So here's the reason I like this form. This is a Google form. I'm going to show you how to use it in a minute. It's a Google form. And I like to entitle the form Getting to Know You Better. Or you could entitle it whatever it is that you want, okay? But the idea behind the form is to really dig into who the people are that you're working with on a higher level, okay? We're in a relationship business, I can't stress that enough. And this is one way, maybe not the only way, but one way to get to know people at a higher level, right? So the Google form that I'll show you in a few seconds, it talks about, or you can set it up this way, it asks questions of the people you're sending this to, so you really truly get to know them. As an example, favorite color, favorite flower, your favorite alcoholic beverage, if applicable, because some people maybe not, right? Are you a vegan, vegetarian, or a carnivore, or an omnivore, right? Or whatever. You can ask all kinds of good questions. Your favorite restaurant, your favorite foods, you have food allergies, your favorite vacation spot, your favorite movies, whatever. You could ask 20 or 30 different questions on this form to get to know them better. Here's the reason. Would it be appropriate to give a bottle of wine as some sort of a gift to somebody who's a recovering alcoholic?
Absolutely.
Of course, I mean, horrible. Now they're probably gonna think that the gesture was nice and you may or may not offend them, you know, but you don't wanna do that. Same thing with the vegan or the vegetarian. You give them a gift card to a Ruth Chris Steakhouse. Duh, of course not. This form will help you with that a little bit. I'll tell you another story. This is, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or something. They didn't have Google Forms back then, but they had other things. And I had an occasion to give a referral gift to one of my former clients. And this gentleman, I asked, and I had a form that I actually wrote out and mailed a while back. And he said that he loved this particular Persian restaurant. That's pretty specific, isn't it? So, as luck would have it, I had an occasion to give a gift. I went down east side of town and grabbed that gift certificate. It wasn't even a card. And I mailed it to him with a thank you note and so forth. And oh my God, you would have thought that I gave him $1 million. But what I did was, I made an amazing emotional deposit, didn't I? I really invested in him by knowing what he liked, not anything generic. I was very specific. So that's what this form does, okay? So it also gives you insight into your KPIs. What does KPI stand for? Key Performance Indicator, thank you.
What is
Okay.
it?
Key Performance Indicators. So what do I mean by that? Amongst all the other questions, right? And again, significant other, favorite foods, favorite restaurants, so on and so on. You can certainly ask questions like this, and you should. Did I do enough to earn your business for life? What could I improve on? How likely are you to refer me to all your family and friends? Et cetera, et cetera. You can ask questions like that. Get a review. Get a review would be on your Google business profile, if you don't have one. Talk to somebody about that, because you need to have that as well. You can actually put a link on here to drive traffic to have them create a Google review for you, which are important. We're in a review-driven society, aren't we? So another use for the form. Now, here's what it looks like. And again, I'm gonna run you through this. We have time. I'm gonna run you through this a little bit to show you how easy it is. By the way, how much does it cost? Right. Some of the other things maybe cost you a little bit of money, but not this, okay? So, I'm gonna go through it. I'm not gonna even go through this right now, okay? Now, so at the end, I'm gonna show you the Google form. Create a VIP list. So I'll tell you another story. One of my coaching clients years ago lived in Houston, and he would routinely do somewhere between 70 to 80 transactions a year. Pretty good business, right? So of course, me being the coach, I'm gonna ask questions. Where do you get your business? What are your sources? He says 95% of it comes from my database. Really? Tell me about that. So he created this VIP list. The people that routinely give him referrals, he took the top 20% of those people and put them on a VIP list. And in his CRM, he labeled them VIPs. These are the people that he really paid attention to, above and beyond that other list I showed you. These are the people that every single month he drives over and starts giving little gifts to these people. Every month, different theme. Now I'll tell you what he did. It kind of is counterintuitive to what I mentioned about wine, but 1 month was wine month. 1 month was homemade cookie month. 1 month was Houston Astro baseball game month. So he brings some people all throughout that month and he'd bring them to the baseball game, et cetera, right? Maybe it corresponds with a holiday. But he paid attention to these people at a higher level than the typical. Really spread the love on these people. Super important, okay?
But if the clients, his important people posted on social media and tag him, then these not so important people could see it and feel left out.
Well, sure,
You know?
or there could be FOMO. What's FOMO?
Fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out. How do I get on a VIP list? What do I gotta do? Well, you gotta give me a referral. You didn't give me any referrals. What do I gotta do to earn your business? It's a great opportunity to make a phone call, okay? So, definitely something to think about is making sure you pay attention to those that are really supporting your career. You're gonna have this big database and then your VIP list. Your VIP list to be able to really dig into those people that are currently giving you referrals. This is a way to A, thank them, B, nurture more, okay? All right, now, if your database is or will be the #1 source of business, wouldn't it stand to reason that you need to increase the number of people in your database? Wouldn't that make sense? Of course. So, prospect, right? Lead generate for business. That should be a daily thing for you to do every single day. Think of it as feeding the lead generation monster, okay? Lead generation, open houses, expires for sale by owners. All of that creates more people in your database eventually, right? Circle dial, door knocking, all your marketing efforts, all paid lead sources, all your social media engagement is designed to get business, which increases your database. You should think about nothing less than 20 people added to your database per month. Nothing less. More is always better. Nothing less. Okay? Okay. Now, can Stephanie or somebody help me get onto Google?
Yes.
I want to show this really quick and then we'll be done. Then we'll be done. Just get me on Google. Yours is fine. I'm not going to go to your email right now. And I'm going to show you how to create this Google form. Who has not ever created a Google form? Who has not ever created a Google form? Okay, good. So some of you have, which is great. Perfect. Okay, let me move this around so I can see what I'm doing. All right, so watch. The little boxes up here, the dots. The dots. Can you guys all see? Okay, yeah. The dots, that's where all the Google products are. Okay? These are all Google products, every one of them. Okay? Scroll around till you find forms. There we go, there's forms. Click on forms. Did it work? Oh, there we go. Oh, we gotta go through this rigmarole. I knew this would happen.
I gotta remember my password.
Oh, jeez. You got it. All right. So when you sign in, it'll bring you here. You clicked on forms, maybe you do some password stuff. It brings you right here. This does not have to look pretty. You don't got to do all this pretty stuff up here, none of that nonsense. Just click on a blank form, okay? And then you're going to title the form. Let's go ahead and title it right now. Okay, oh, learn about Google. No thanks. Okay. Why is that not working? There we go, okay. Getting, whatever. It doesn't matter, it's just demonstration. You get the idea. Getting to know you better. Okay, fine. Here, now I'm getting OCD on myself. All right, getting better. You can entitle whatever you want to entitle it. You don't have to entitle this, okay? Underneath, there's a form description. So in there, you can, I'm not gonna write anything, but you can write things like, this form is designed for me to get to know you at a higher level because I care so much about our relationship, blah, 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 flowery, okay? So you put something in there. Don't worry about bold, don't worry about italicizing or underlining. Keep it simple, fast, and easy, please, okay? Can you guys all see over there, okay? Okay, so it starts off with the first question. So we'll put in name, okay? Now, this is how the person's gonna answer the question. This is how they're going to answer it. It's intuitive. Watch. It changes, isn't it? So it's intuitive. So you can let it do its thing, or if you want to drop down the menu, and you can decide how your people are going to answer the question. Don't be involved with all the detail stuff on this. The questions are the most important part, okay? So let's go back to name. And there's a reason why I'm actually typing in stuff, you'll see in a moment, okay? You want to ask another question? Hit the plus sign, okay? We'll put birthday, okay? And see it puts a date on there. Let's ask another question. Favorite?
Forgot the R.
I sure did, didn't I? Favorite flower, okay, that's all I'm gonna put here. All right, now, when you think you're done, and you go to responses, at the top right here, link to sheets. Link to sheets, can you see that? Link to sheets, watch. If I click on that, create new spreadsheet, create, every response that you get that comes in via electronic means here, you can email this form, and then I'll show you how to do that. All the answers automatically go onto the Google Sheet. All of them go automatically. And see all of the categories, all the questions are there as well. And you take this form and you save it on your desktop. Anytime there's a gift giving opportunity or there's other things you feel you need this form for, it's available. You don't have to put it in your CRM. That's too much work, to be quite honest.
That was my question, if there's a way to import it to the CRM.
There could be, I'm not positive, it depends on the CRM. But I wouldn't go through that length, it's too much work, too much work. We got 4 hours of prospecting to do, who needs, you have the information, it's easily accessible, it's readily available, and it's easy to see. Now, so that's that. Let me go back, okay? Oh, what did I do? I screwed all of it up, what did I do?
Just hit the back arrow.
Hit the back arrow, you're right.
No.
That's fine, I'll go back, it'll just take a second. Okay, forms. Okay, recent forms. Okay, then we're back. So that's responses, okay? To send the form when it's complete, you hit send. Imagine that, right? You hit send. Now, here's the deal with this. Here's the deal with this. There's no blank carbon copy. So I would not mass take all the email addresses you might currently have to all your past clients and shove them all in there. It'll be like this. Do 5 a day. The form's there. You're going to recreate anything. Go back to it. Do 5 a day, 6 a day, 3 a day, 4 a day, whatever. So you don't have a mass of emails, okay? So that's simple. Now, on the bottom here, it'll say getting to know you better. That's the title of the form. The message, it starts off with, I've invited you to fill out a form. And then you can continue and write whatever it is you want to write. Okay? And then of course, include it in the email, and then you're going to hit your send. Okay? Then you're going to hit your send. Now, the implementation of this. To start off with, start sending to everybody you already know, or you want to have access to this form. And then, in terms of your standard operating procedure for closing, you prepare your people. I'm going to send you out a form, please fill it out. Would really like that. And at the end of a transaction, boom, you send it out. Every time a closing happens, boom, send out the form. So maybe it's only 1 or 2 a month, or 3 a month, or 4 a month. It's not 45 or 100 all in one shot. Okay, now you have all the information loaded up, and they'll continue to feed into that little database, or that Google Sheet that I showed you, continually. It'll keep on growing, and it'll be there for you forever until you decide that you don't want it there anymore. And that's perfect for all the occasions for gift giving and really digging into what's special to these people. Any questions on this?
Thank you.
Do the recipients have to have a Gmail account?
No, they do not have to have a Gmail account. It can go to Outlook, it can go to Yahoo.
Does the sender have to have a Gmail email?
Yes. Oh, that's a great question. I don't know the answer to that, to be honest. I know this is Google Form and Google Process. I don't know if you have to have a Google. Yes, you do probably, to access this. Yeah. Yeah.
To create it, you have to have a Google.
Yeah, that's true.
Is a Google account different from having a Google email?
No. No. If you got a Google email, you're good to go. Yes.
So when they fill it out, do they have to re-email it to you, or once they're done, it just automatically?
When they fill it out, there's a submit button at the bottom of the form. They click on it, and they're done.
It's automatically back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, does it count back or just autofills?
It autofills.
Yeah, it doesn't even, you don't even think about it, it just autofills.
Autofill. You don't gotta do anything. It just shows up.
That's the beauty.
Yeah, which is the ease of this. So, any other questions? All right, I'm out.
Thank you.
Oh, one more thing. This is the most important part of this. Every single one of you will either text, email, or visit Mark with at least one action item you got out of this you're gonna implement. Because sitting through this portion of the class and not doing anything with it is a waste of your time. Don't let that happen. Get together with Mark and do something.
Before you run, I have a question about, you were talking about mailing the CMA to your clients. Well, I actually have two questions on that. How soon after a closing you would start sending mail to them?
To those people that newly closed, I would say 6 months.
And if they don't respond, how often do you do it?
If they don't respond, they're not gonna respond, you're gonna respond. You're gonna physically call them.
Okay.
You're taking charge, you're not gonna be passive, you're gonna be assertive with this. Definitely important.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dennis. Remember, no matter how you slice it, greatness is a choice. Let's go out and be great.